Hey guys, Doing from the Geek Doer here, and today I will bring you my reaction to Agatha All Along, Episode 7, titled Death's Hand in Mine. Those remaining suffer the hand they are dealt in the next trial. Now, interestingly, this is again a title that isn't two parts, yet initially I thought this is the second part of the last episode's title, but no, there's a line between this and that. It's like familiar by thy side. I forget the next line. Then it's like I hold death's hand in mine. So that doesn't really relate. So I wonder what this is going to be, because the last episode, the subject of the title was the focus character for the majority of it. But that wouldn't really work for this chapter, this episode. Don't know why I just said chapter, but yeah. Anyway, again, a couple of notes that I have from the last episode, which I'm glad I'm able to go back to doing this. I like spreading this information out to more people, even though no one watches these. But yeah, I saw someone post that technically Lilia is responsible for Multiverse of Madness happening, because her placing that sigil on Billy made it so that Wanda wasn't able to sense him inhabiting Billy Kaplan's body. So she didn't know that one of her boys was reincarnated on the same Earth. But on the other hand, I saw someone else point out that imagine how much worse it would have been if a Darkhold possessed Wanda could only find one of her sons. Like, we know that Tommy isn't reincarnated. Wiccan can feel his soul out in the ether, but we don't know who he'd be yet, or at least we assume he has been reincarnated. So imagine if the Darkhold possessed Wanda was only able to find Wiccan, which is specifically the one son that would also be susceptible to the Darkhold's influence. Suddenly, it is a lot worse, because now you've got two evil witches roaming around. I also saw someone suggest that Lilia's drawing of a black heart on the list of coven members could have actually related to how Eddie used the black heart emoji when referencing Billy, meaning that he is actually the true final member of the coven. Which is also why the door to the road didn't open until he was back in the house and heading towards the basement. Which now means that there are three different characters that black heart could be referring to, all of which have, in some way, been a part of this trip. Because you've got Mrs. Hart, who, it's a heart drawn in black pen. Of course it's going to be black. You've got Rio, who says, I do have a heart. It's black and it beats for you. And then you've got Teen, or Billy, or Wiccan, whichever you want to call him now, where it's like his boyfriend uses that emoji to describe him. So who is the real actual member of the coven? My money's on Billy because of his connection to all the other witches. And they say that it is fate that brings the coven together. Anyway, let's get into the actual episode now. Let's get it started in 3, 2, 1, go. previously. Hmm, interesting. So this is a Lilia focused episode. Like, entirely this is, which is interesting because no, I guess that could be related. Oh yeah, another interesting thing is the line, if one be gone we carry on, spirit as our guide, and it being revealed that Agatha is the spirit witch who's been leading everyone everywhere since Mrs. Hart died. Mrs. Davis. It's been Agatha in the front the entire time. Where are you falling from? As he said in one division, her mind was quiet to him. That's a fair question. Hmm. Hard to tell. Hmm. That can have two meanings. Oh, that's not ominous at all. A gothic castle for a gothic teen. So have a lot of people been wondering that now. It's a weird reaction. Of course. Hmm. Really, team? Hmm. You don't know tarot, do you? Oh. Was that because of an incorrect read, or... Not in... Oh. You had to open your mouth. Hmm. She's been very talkative this trance. Which is it? Am I wispy or am I kooky? Hey, it was. It was a two-part message. I see death. subway station. Her consciousness is split between time. No. How did they get there? I was about to say, did he forget that? But then I'm like, of course he did. He has no memories from before the accident. How did they get here, though? Okay. Sort of wrong about that. We were sort of correct, but in the wrong sequence. The I hated this the first time comes before the screaming, not in reference to the screaming. The teen spellbook? Compartmentalization of magic. That's interesting. Well, the Lily is here. Can you sneak out through that pathway? Guess not. Ah. Hmm. She was definitely putting it down in the wrong order. So the cross is the final. An apt card. Literally. No. What were those two in relation to? I felt those two would have come later, but remember who you are. and she was following in the glitter outfit. The subway station. Ah, so this is how they're skipping the trials, but one, how do they know how to do that? And two, why are they walking backwards? Couldn't you use at least use some of that canvas to wipe some of the mud off? Can you tell yourself? Yes, yes, you can. And there we have the final card. The 13 Pentacles. Are we getting... How did I not put this together that we're getting the 6 tarot cards that were put out in relation to... Actually, no, the Knight of Wands wasn't one of them, though. And there are 7. The Tower. Death. Oh, I love the half. the half skull, half um, real face look was a nice touch. I'm assuming that the reason we didn't get a Knight of Wands promotion is because it would have spoiled Alice's fate. But we got Rio as death. Which I feel is a bigger... Why did you need to sacrifice yourself? There's the mouse. The snake. The fox. The raven. So this is why the tower flips. And why Lilia falls. Is that the end? Not quite. If I could save time. Okay, that was a fucking weird episode. So, I've gone on the record many times to say that I don't like non-linear narratives. Like, that was the only issue I had with the original Captain Marvel movie. Was the non-linear aspect of starting in the middle of the story. And I have said multiple times that if they showed us Carol before the accident, had the ship explode, then all of a sudden she's working with the Kree, that would have made for a much better movie to the mystery of why the sudden turnaround. But the narrative, the disjointed narrative is the mystery of why did the Skrulls attack? Oh wait, it wasn't actually the Skrulls. Like, I just feel like it would have worked more linear. And that is the same issue I had with Ruby's Volume 4 and 5. And, well, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but yeah. But when you've got a character like Lilia, whose mental linear timeline is a non-linear view of what others perceive as time, it makes for a very interesting scenario. Like this. This entire episode was linear from Lilia's perspective. It's just that her life was not linear. Which is very interesting. I did like the tarot reading, the tarot aspect. I've always been interested in tarot, divination and all that. But, well, don't know if I'd actually go out and try and get a reading done. I don't really want to know what's to come. But, yeah, so I knew I was going to like this. Plus the classic witch outfits that everyone was put in. Excuse me. I do like how in all the trailers they kept Teen as Maleficent out of it. I don't know why. I feel having Lilia and Jen in the trailer shot for the trial, was a bit more spoilery than, well, the Teen's going to be there. Because we knew that from the trailer, somehow both Lilia and Jen were going to make it to this trial. Which is why it was so confusing when 2 episodes ago they were thrown off the path, which was assumed death. Now we know that it's sort of a way station and you can use it to bypass parts of the road or to have basically a chicken's rocket exit. So that just makes it more sad what happened to Mrs. Davis. Because she almost sunk into the ground. She could have hopped that train and gone back to Westview if the other witches hadn't pulled her out. The witches forced her in there and then made it so that she couldn't leave, and then she dies in the first trial. That just makes it more sad. And to have her then replaced by literal death. Yeah. Between the title of this and my constant speculation of death being a specific, like an important character, because in the Song of the Witch's Road, death is capitalized and also hyperlinked. There's the Funko that was put out. There's the tarot card that was put out. There's the fact that people have been using that in their thumbnails for their reactions to this episode on the exact same day that this episode came out. The same thing that happened with the Ralph Boner reveal. I'm not so annoyed about the spoiler this week because I was like 98% sure that Rio was going to be revealed as death. Eventually. I thought it would have been when we next see her, which seems to be coming in the next 2 episodes. But, yeah, why would you put one of the biggest spoilers in the trailer? Not the trailer, the thumbnail. On the same day that it comes out. But, yeah. Anyway, back to what I was initially saying. This is a way in which you can do a non-linear narrative in a less offensive way. Because you can use the aspect of flashbacks, but if they get overused, then it should have just been telling the story from the start and then cut out, like skip forward. That's what is in my opinion. Small use of flashbacks, or someone who is seeing things linearly from their perspective, but out of time for everyone else. Those are two ways that this kind of story works. Now, it's interesting that the first trial we got was Jen's, yet she is the path forward. I would have said that out of everything, possibly the magician card would have been put back into play, with it being the teens trial. Hell, no, because we're going to assume that Mrs. Hart wasn't actually counted in the coven, and Rio doesn't really count as this coven's Green Witch, meaning Billy must be the Green Witch. Huh. Neat. But yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, the magician possibly should have been the next card, because there's still one more trial that we need. Because we've had potions, we've had protection, we've had spirit, we've had divination. There's still the Green Witch. Bring up the ballad again. That one. Gather witches, fire, water, earth, and air. That was it, yeah? Not the Lorna Wu version. Not the cover version. Not the pop version. Did I scroll past the original? Yeah. Gather sisters, fire, water, earth, and air. Not the order they gathered them in. Not the order their trials were. Where was it? Darkest hour, wake thy power. Earthly and divine, burn and brew with coven true. Right. So the earth trial must be next. Meaning the teen must be the earth or the Green Witch. Because there's also no reference to a spirit trial, but then... Oh. Okay, I was wrong. With the title. It's marching ever forward neath the wooden shrine. I strain on from the path, I hold death's hand in mine. Then primal night, give us sight, familiar by thy side. I had those flipped, but... Okay. It's interesting that the one who was thrown from the path was the one who encountered death. Interesting. I'm very interested to see what these next two episodes are going to be, where the truth of Agatha actually taking the road or not is going to be revealed. What really happened with Nicholas and the Darkhold, what happened between Rio and Agatha. How is Death the original Green Witch? Now, Yeah, how does that work? Because, like I said, green magic. Green magic is that unexplained energy and force, the natural magic that occurs in nature. Yeah. I guess death is a part of nature, so that could be the correlation. But I feel like time is also an aspect of nature. So couldn't divination fall under? Potions and protections less so. Spirit arguably could be, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know how death relates to green magic. But then again, I also don't know how for lack of a better term, legacy chaos magic counts as green witch either. If anything, I'd say spirit is most related to that. Meaning we've already had the Earth trial. But that doesn't work either. Very confused. But yeah. I'm very interested to see what other people think about this episode, as I feel I've been saying this entire time because of the nature of what it is. The very confusing start to then realizing, oh, this is how Lily has been seeing things. Whereas what we've been seeing is future Lily. I raised this in the reaction. The connection of, at the start we fought, but I love you guys. Don't really see how that fit in the place they had it. I feel like they could have actually added that at the end of the trial. When she was talking to Jen about her being the path forward, the High Priestess. I feel like that could have worked better, but... Because how did they have... It was when she sat down to do her own trial, yes? Or was it when she sat down to do the teens? I don't know, I can't see it, just scrolling through this. Yeah, I can't see it, just scrolling through the viewfinder, so I guess we're just going to leave it there, but yeah. Oh yeah, reminder that the next two episodes are going to be released out of my usual schedule. Technically, so is this one, because the finale is going to be on Thursday. The second half of the finale is going to be next Tuesday. So, again, probably should have mentioned that at the start, but I'm not going to bother editing this episode. So, with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.